Jack the Ripper, a name that sends icy shivers down your spine, even more than a century after his reign of terror. This infamous figure, shrouded in mystery and darkness, emerged from the shadows in 1888 to terrorize the Whitechapel district in London. His reign of terror was brief, yet the brutality and gruesomeness of his crimes left a chilling mark on history. He was not just any murderer, but a serial killer whose barbaric acts were so horrific that they earned him a nickname as chilling as the autumn fog that blanketed the streets of Whitechapel during his spree. The moniker, so fitting for the brutality of his crimes, has become synonymous with fear and mystery. Despite exhaustive investigations and numerous theories, his true identity remains shrouded in mystery, even to this day. The story of Jack the Ripper is not for the faint-hearted, but it is a tale that has captivated and horrified millions. The summer of 1888 was a time of fear and horror in Whitechapel. This was the time when the infamous Jack the Ripper began his reign of terror. He didn't just kill, he mutilated, he terrorized, and he left a mark on history that still haunts us today. First, there was Mary Ann Nichols, a 43-year-old woman of the night whose life was brutally ended on August 31st. Her throat was cut, her body mutilated in a manner that suggested the killer had a knowledge of human anatomy. Then came Annie Chapman, on September 8th. Like Nichols, her throat was severed, her body horribly mutilated. The savagery of the attacks was beginning to escalate, and the name Jack the Ripper was starting to echo in the streets of Whitechapel. Elizabeth Stride and Catherine Eddowes were next, both murdered in the early hours of September 30th, a night that would be remembered as the double event. Stride's throat was cut, but her body was not mutilated, leading some to question if she was indeed a victim of the Ripper. Eddowes, however, suffered a fate similar to Nichols and Chapman, her body left in a horrifying state that left no doubt as to who was responsible. The final victim, Mary Jane Kelly, met her end on November 9th. Her murder was the most gruesome of all, her body mutilated beyond recognition in her own room. As the body count rose, so did the terror. The people of Whitechapel were living in fear, their nights haunted by the specter of the Ripper. Letters began to arrive at police stations, taunting the authorities with their inability to catch the killer. Whether these letters were genuinely from the Ripper or the work of an opportunistic hoaxer is still a matter of debate. As the murders escalated, so did the public's fear, and the manhunt for the elusive killer intensified. Jack the Ripper may have vanished into the mists of time, but his shadow still looms large over the history of crime and the streets of Whitechapel. The manhunt for Jack the Ripper was one of the largest criminal investigations in history. As panic and fear gripped the heart of London's East End, the Metropolitan Police were under immense pressure. The Whitechapel murders had shocked the city to its core, and the public was clamoring for justice. The police threw everything they had into the investigation, desperate to catch the elusive killer who had become known as Jack the Ripper. Two detectives, Frederick Aberline and Edmund Reed, led the investigation. Aberline, a seasoned detective with a keen eye for detail, was an expert in dealing with the criminal underworld of London. His partner, Reed, was a former sailor, known for his tenacity and unyielding dedication to the pursuit of justice. Together, they delved deep into the grimy underbelly of Whitechapel, interviewing witnesses, examining crime scenes, and following countless leads. They even employed unconventional methods such as using bloodhounds in an attempt to track the killer. The investigation was extensive, but the lack of forensic technology at the time meant that evidence was limited. The police found themselves sifting through a multitude of theories and suspects. Some believed the killer was a butcher or a doctor due to the precise nature of the mutilations, while others suggested a member of the upper class was involved, driven to kill by madness or sadistic pleasure. A number of suspects were rigorously investigated, from local butchers and slaughterhouse workers to doctors and even members of the British aristocracy. Despite the exhaustive efforts of the police, none of the suspects were conclusively linked to the murders. The manhunt was relentless, yet ultimately, unfruitful. The identity of Jack the Ripper remained a mystery. The lack of resolution only added to the enigma of the Ripper, intensifying public fascination and horror. Despite their best efforts, the police were unable to catch Jack the Ripper, adding to his mystique and infamy. Jack the Ripper vanished as suddenly as he had appeared, leaving behind a legacy of fear and intrigue. This enigmatic figure, shrouded in mystery, has left an indelible mark on society and popular culture, extending far beyond the grimy streets of Victorian Whitechapel. The Ripper case was a turning point in the history of crime investigation. It exposed the deficiencies of the existing police methods, forcing significant changes in the way crimes were handled. Forensics became a key focus, with an increasing emphasis on evidence collection and preservation. The Ripper case also highlighted the need for interagency cooperation, paving the way for more collaborative investigative approaches. The media's role in crime reporting too underwent a transformation. Sensational headlines about the Ripper murders captivated and horrified the public, demonstrating the power of the press in shaping public perception. The media's influence in crime reporting has only grown since, with high-profile cases often playing out in the court of public opinion before reaching the actual courtroom. The Ripper case has also sparked an enduring fascination, fueling countless theories about the killer's identity. Was he a deranged surgeon, a member of the royal family, or just an ordinary man hiding in plain sight? The Ripper's true identity remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the annals of crime. The legacy of Jack the Ripper is a chilling reminder of the darkness that can exist within a society, lurking beneath the veneer of civilization. It's a testament to the human fascination with the macabre and the unexplained, a fascination that keeps the Ripper's memory alive more than a century after his reign of terror. Jack the Ripper, a name synonymous with terror, continues to haunt us, reminding us of the darkness that can lurk in the heart of a city. The shadow of the Ripper lingers on, an eerie echo of a time when a faceless killer held a city in the grip of fear. Thank you again for joining us for another video. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe and comment down below and let us know what you would like to hear in the near future. See you all again soon.